My precious one, pause for a moment, because what you are about to hear is not ordinary. This is not just another message that passes by your ears and disappears into silence. No, this is a divine interruption, a sacred whisper breaking through time itself. And the urgency in this moment is real, because May 28th has been marked in the spiritual realm long before you ever realized it. You were guided here for a reason. There is something unfolding behind the scenes of your life that you cannot yet see, but it has everything to do with your heart, your future, and a love so deep that it feels almost unreal. Archangel Michael is stepping forward now, not gently, but with clarity and purpose, because there is no more time to delay what must be revealed. A beautiful soul, yes, someone with a heart that has been quietly aligned with yours wants to marry you. Let that sink in. This is not a passing attraction. This is not confusion or illusion. This is a soul-level recognition, something written beyond this lifetime. And what makes this even more shocking is that this person already exists in your world. They are not far away. They are not a stranger in a distant land. They are closer than you think, closer than you have allowed yourself to believe. But here is where the message becomes urgent. If you ignore this, if you scroll past this moment without opening your spirit to it, you may delay something that was meant to arrive now. Not forever, but long enough to miss a divine window that has been carefully prepared for you. Archangel Michael does not interrupt without reason. He does not bring messages wrapped in urgency unless something powerful is about to unfold. And right now, there is movement in the unseen, conversations unspoken, feelings held back, a confession that is building like a wave, waiting for the exact moment to rise. And that moment is connected to May 28th. You may already feel it deep inside you, a strange pull, a curiosity you cannot explain, a face that crosses your mind more often than it should, a name that lingers at the edge of your thoughts. You've tried to dismiss it, to rationalize it, to tell yourself it's nothing, but your spirit knows better. Because this connection is not random. This is something protected, something guided. And the most shocking part, the identity of this person and the gift they carry for you will leave you speechless. Not because it is loud or extravagant, but because it is exactly what your soul has been silently asking for. Everything is aligning now. But you must stay with this message. You must allow yourself to receive it fully, without doubt interrupting what your spirit is trying to recognize. Because what comes next will begin to reveal signs, undeniable signs that this is already happening around you. And once you see them, you will not be able to unsee them. The truth is closer than you think. There is a reason why May 28th is not just another ordinary date on the calendar. In the spiritual realm, time does not move randomly. It moves with intention, with alignment, with purpose that is often hidden from human understanding. And the specific day carries a vibration that opens doors which have long remained closed. It is a moment where divine timing and human readiness begin to meet in a powerful way. You may have noticed that lately, things have felt different. Subtle shifts in your emotions, unexpected thoughts about love, or even a quiet longing that seems to come from nowhere. This is not your imagination. This is preparation. Archangel Michael has been working behind the scenes, aligning energies, removing obstacles, and clearing paths that once seemed blocked. What you are experiencing is the beginning of something that was always meant to find you, but only at the right time. And that time is now approaching. This beautiful soul that seeks to unite with you is not someone random or misplaced in your story. This is someone who hath been divinely connected to your journey for longer than you realize. There has been a silent bond, an invisible thread pulling both of you closer, even during moments when you felt completely unaware of each other's presence. They have felt it too. There have been nights when they could not explain why your energy crossed their mind. Moments when your name echoed softly in their thoughts, even if they tried to ignore it. A quiet knowing that something, or someone, was meant for them, even if they didn't yet have the courage to fully understand it. This connection has been growing in silence, protected from interference, nurtured in ways that go beyond physical interaction. What makes this even more profound is that this person has likely been observing you in ways you never noticed. Not in a distant or strange sense, but in a quiet, respectful, almost sacred way. They have seen your strength, your kindness, your struggles, and the way you carry yourself even when life feels heavy. And instead of turning away, it has drawn them closer. They admire you more than you know. But here is the truth that may surprise you. The delay in this connection was never about rejection or missed chances. It was about preparation. Both of you needed to grow, to heal, to become ready for something that is not ordinary. Because this is not a connection that can survive on surface-level emotions. This is something deeper, something that requires emotional maturity, spiritual awareness, and the courage to accept a love that feels almost destined. Archangel Michael has been guarding this connection, ensuring that it does not arrive too early or under the wrong conditions. There were moments when it could have happened before, but it would not have lasted. There were times when one of you was not ready, when fears were stronger than faith, when past wounds still held too much power. But that is changing now. May 28th represents more than a date, it represents a joy. A moment where hidden feelings begin to surface, where silence begins to break, and where what has been kept in the shadows starts to move into the light. This is when the beautiful soul begins to step forward, no longer able to hold back what they feel. And you may already sense who this person is. A certain presence in your life that feels different. A connection that cannot be easily explained. A comfort that feels natural, yet carries an intensity that sometimes leaves you questioning it. You may have dismissed it before, thinking it was just coincidence or imagination. But now, those thoughts are returning with more clarity, more persistence. This is not accidental. This is alignment. Everything is being positioned carefully so that when the moment arrives, it feels undeniable. Not forced, not confusing, but clear in a way that speaks directly to your soul. And as this unfolds, the signs will become stronger, more impossible to ignore. Because what is meant for you is no longer waiting in silence. It is preparing to reveal itself. Listen closely now, because what you are about to recognize may already be happening around you and you did not even realize it. The signs of this hidden love, this beautiful soul who desires a lifelong union with you, have not been absent. They have been subtle, gentle, almost easy to dismiss. But they are real, and they are growing stronger with each passing moment. You may have experienced an unusual pattern of repeated encounters with a certain person. Not forced meetings, not planned interactions, but moments that seem to happen by chance. Running into them unexpectedly, seeing their name appear in different places, or feeling their presence linger even when they are not physically near you. These are not coincidences. These are alignments carefully orchestrated, small nudges from the divine to bring awareness to something your heart is ready to see. And then there are the dreams. Have you noticed how certain faces or emotions appear while you sleep? Dreams that feel more vivid than usual, almost like memories instead of imagination. You may not always remember every detail, but the feeling stays with you when you wake up. A sense of familiarity, a connection that feels deeper than logic can explain. This is one of the ways the spiritual realm communicates when the conscious mind is still catching up. This person has also been feeling your energy. There are moments when they feel drawn to you without understanding why. Times when they hesitate to speak, not because they lack interest, but because what they feel is so intense that it unsettles them. They may act normal on the surface, even distant at times, but beneath that is a quiet storm of emotions they are trying to understand. Pay attention to how they look at you. There is a difference between casual attention and soul recognition. When this person sees you, there is a depth in their gaze, a softness mixed with intensity, as if they are trying to read something within you. It may last only a second, but it carries a weight that lingers far longer. That is not ordinary attraction. That is connection speaking without words. You might also notice how conversations with them feel different. Even simple words carry meaning. Silence does not feel empty but full. There is a comfort that feels natural, yet at the same time, there is a quiet tension, as if something important is waiting to be said but has not yet found its moment. And here is something even more powerful. Your intuition has already been whispering this truth to you. That subtle inner voice that keeps bringing you back to the same person, the feeling that there is something more even when there is no clear evidence, the unexplainable sense of familiarity that feels almost like you have known them before. This is not wishful thinking. This is recognition. Your soul is identifying what your mind is still trying to process. Archangel Michael is guiding you to trust these signs, not ignore them. Because what is forming here is not fragile. It is protected. It has been allowed to grow slowly so that when it finally reveals itself, it stands strong against doubt, fear, and outside interference. This connection is reaching a point where it can no longer remain hidden. Emotions are becoming too strong. The silence is becoming too heavy. And very soon, something will shift. A moment, a conversation, a confession, something that changes the dynamic completely. And when it happens, you will look back and realize that all these signs were leading you here, preparing you so that you would not be caught off guard, so that you would recognize the truth when it stands directly in front of you. But you must remain open. Do not let doubt silence your awareness. Do not let fear convince you that this is not real. Because what is happening is rare, and it is sacred. And missing it is not about losing it forever, but about delaying something your soul has already chosen. So stay aware, stay present, and most importantly, stay receptive. Because the revelation is no longer far away. Type "I receive divine love" in the comments if this message is speaking directly to your spirit. Blessing code 369 is now activated. And as this truth settles into your heart, understand this: when you respond to a divine message, you are not just receiving it, you are participating in something greater than yourself. There are souls across the world who are still waiting to hear what you are hearing right now, still searching for confirmation, still longing for a sign that love guided by heaven is real. I feel called to help this message reach the one who is still waiting. When you choose to support this mission through super thanks or a PayPal offering, you are not giving to a channel. You are sowing into a field of souls ready to awaken. Just as it is written, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not just a verse. It is a living promise speaking over you in this very moment. Your seed becomes light. Your offering becomes a bridge. Your action becomes a divine response. The PayPal link is in the description, and a QR code is present within this space for you to step into this moment of obedience. Do not delay what your spirit is prompting you to do. As you give, may doors open for you that no one can shut. May clarity replace confusion. And may the love that is seeking you find you without resistance. Act now. There is something you must understand now. something that will bring clarity to everything you have been sensing but could not fully explain. This beautiful soul is not just someone who feels drawn to you. They are someone whose spirit carries a rare kind of depth, a quiet strength that does not need to announce itself loudly. Your presence is not overwhelming in a chaotic way, but calming in a way that reaches places inside you that you didn't even realize needed peace. This is a person who has endured their own battles. They are not perfect, and they do not come without a past. But what makes them different is how they have transformed their pain into wisdom. Where others may have become hardened, they have become softer. Where others may have chosen bitterness, they have chosen understanding. This is someone who knows how to love not just with emotion, but with intention. And that is why they have been chosen to align with you. Because your journey has also shaped you in ways that prepared you for this kind of connection. You have learned lessons that were not easy. You have faced moments where love felt uncertain, where trust may have been broken, where you questioned whether something real and lasting could ever find you. But those experiences were not meant to close your heart. They were meant to refine it. This person sees that in you. They notice the way you care, even when you try to hide it. They recognize the strength behind your silence, the resilience behind your smile. And more importantly, they feel safe in your energy, even if they do not fully understand why. That sense of safety is not something that can be created artificially. It is something that exists when two souls are aligned on a deeper level. You may have already felt this when you are around them. A sense of ease that does not require effort. Conversations that flow naturally, even when the topics are simple. Moments where time seems to pass differently, where you feel both grounded and uplifted at the same time. This is not something that happens with just anyone. This is the kind of connection that forms when two paths are meant to cross in a meaningful way. But here is where it becomes even more important to pay attention. This person may not appear in the way you expected. They may not fit the exact image you once held in your mind of what your future partner would look like or how they would behave. And that is intentional. Because what is meant for you is not designed to meet your old expectations. It is designed to exceed them in ways you could not have imagined. They may be quieter than you anticipated, or perhaps more thoughtful, more observant. They may express themselves differently than what you are used to. But beneath all of that is a sincerity that is rare, a genuine desire to build something meaningful, something lasting. Archangel Michael has been guiding this person as well. Just as you have been prepared, they have also been shaped through their own experiences. They have been learning patience, courage, and the ability to recognize when something real enters their life. And now, they are reaching a point where they can no longer ignore what they feel for you. But they are careful. They do not want to rush something that feels sacred. They do not want to risk losing what could become something deeply significant. So they observe, they wait, they search for the right moment when their feelings can be expressed without fear of misunderstanding. And this is why you may have sensed hesitation from them. Not because they are unsure about you, but because they understand the value of what this connection could become. They are protecting it in their own way, even if it appears confusing at times. Their silence is not emptiness, it is contemplation. Their distance is not rejection, it is preparation. And now, everything is beginning to shift. The energy around this connection is becoming stronger, more direct, more impossible to ignore. The qualities that once remained hidden are starting to surface. You may begin to notice small changes in their behavior, subtle signs that their feelings are moving closer to expression. This is the unfolding. This is where what was once hidden begins to reveal itself, piece by piece, until there is no longer any doubt left. And as you witness this transformation, you will begin to understand why everything had to happen the way it did. Because this is not just about love. This is about alignment, purpose, and a connection that carries meaning far beyond the surface. And you are standing right at the edge of it. There is a truth you must face now, and it may not be easy to accept at first, but it will set you free from confusion once you understand it. This connection, as powerful and destined as it is, did not arrive sooner because it could not have survived in the state you or this person were in before. The delay you experienced was not denial. It was protection. You may have questioned in the past why love seemed to slip through your hands, why certain connections never reached their full potential, or why timing always felt slightly off. It may have felt like something was missing, like you were always just one step away from something real, but never quite reaching it. That feeling was not accidental. It was part of a greater design. Archangel Michael had been standing between you and what was not meant for you. Your connections that looked promising on the surface but carried hidden instability. There were moments when you thought, this could be it, only to later realize that it would not have brought you the peace your soul truly needed. You may have felt disappointment, even heartbreak, but those experiences were clearing space, removing what could not align with your destiny. And the same has been happening for this other soul. They, too, have faced their own emotional battles. They have experienced situations where love was either misunderstood, unbalanced, or simply not meant to last. There were moments when they almost gave their heart to the wrong person, moments when they came close to settling for something less than what they truly deserved. But each time, something intervened. Something held them back, redirected them, or caused things to fall apart before it went too far. That something was not coincidence. It was divine intervention. Because both of you were being prepared, not just individually, but for each other. There were wounds that needed healing, patterns that needed breaking, and lessons that needed to be fully understood before this connection could be allowed to form in its true strength. If you had met fully before this preparation was complete, fear might have taken control. Old habits might have created misunderstandings. Insecurity could have caused distance instead of closeness. What was meant to last could have been damaged by what was not yet healed. So the delay became necessary. But now, something has changed within you. You are not the same person you were before. You have grown, even if you don't always recognize it. You have learned to see things more clearly, to understand your own emotions with more depth, to value peace over chaos. You have become more aware of what you truly need, not just what you temporarily desire. And this person has changed too. They are no longer operating from the same fears that once held them back. They have begun to understand the importance of honesty, vulnerability, and emotional responsibility. They are starting to realize that real love requires courage, the courage to speak, to act, and to risk being seen. This is why the timing is shifting now, because both of you are reaching a point where the connection can exist without being destroyed by the past, where communication can happen without being clouded by fear, where trust can begin to grow instead of being questioned at every step. Archangel Michael's role in this has been powerful and intentional. He has not only protected you from what could harm you, but he has also guided you toward what will fulfill you. Even in moments when you felt lost, when you questioned whether anything meaningful was ahead, there was always a force ensuring that you did not stray too far from your destined path. And now, that path is becoming clearer. The hesitation, the confusion, the delays, they are beginning to fade. In their place, there is a quiet certainty forming, a sense that something real is approaching, something that does not carry the same instability as before. But here is the key. You must not allow past fears to resurface now. Do not let old doubts convince you that this will be like everything else. Do not project past disappointments onto something that has not yet had the chance to fully reveal itself. Because this is different. This has been carefully prepared, protected, and aligned in ways that go beyond your previous experiences. This is not repetition. This is transformation. And as you move forward, you will begin to see why nothing else worked out the way you once expected it to. Because it was never meant to. It was always leading you here. Now the moment you have been waiting for begins to unfold more clearly, and this is where your awareness must sharpen. Because what was once hidden in feeling and intuition is now starting to take form in something more tangible. The identity of this beautiful soul is not meant to remain a mystery much longer. The clues are already around you, but now they are becoming more precise, more intentional, more impossible to ignore. The first layer of this revelation comes through the name. Not fully spoken yet, not completely revealed in one sudden moment, but gently, symbolically, like a whisper repeated until it becomes undeniable. You may begin to notice certain letters appearing more frequently. Perhaps the same initial shows up in different places, on a phone screen, in conversations, in names you read or hear unexpectedly. It may seem small at first, easy to brush off, but the repetition is where the meaning lies. Pay attention to the letters that feel familiar. There is a strong possibility that one or two initials are being highlighted to you right now. Letters that connect to someone already within your circle. It could be a name you have known for a long time but never considered in this way. Or it could be someone whose presence has recently become more noticeable, even if nothing obvious has changed on the surface. This is how divine revelation often works. It does not overwhelm you all at once. It guides you step by step, allowing your awareness to grow naturally so that when the truth fully appears, it feels right instead of shocking in a way that creates resistance. And yet there will still be an element of surprise, because the person connected to this name is not someone you expected to step into this role. You may have placed them in a different category in your mind: friend, acquaintance, someone neutral. But what is hidden beneath that surface is something much deeper, something that has been quietly developing without needing attention or validation. Archangel Michael is guiding this unveiling carefully. He is not forcing the truth upon you, but leading you toward it so that you recognize it on your own. Because recognition is powerful. When your soul identifies something before your mind fully accepts it, the connection becomes stronger, more rooted, more real. You may also notice that this name begins to carry a different feeling when you hear it. It no longer feels ordinary. There is a subtle emotional response, something that stirs within you without explanation. You may find yourself thinking about this person more often, not in a forced way, but in a way that feels natural, almost as if your thoughts are being gently redirected toward them. This is not coincidence. This is alignment becoming conscious. But here is where you must be careful not to overanalyze or rush ahead of the process. The purpose of these clues is not to create pressure or confusion. It is to prepare your heart so that when this person begins to reveal their true feelings, you are not caught in disbelief or denial, because that moment is approaching. And along with the name, there is something else being prepared, a gift. This gift is not something ordinary or predictable. It is not simply material, though it may carry a physical form. What makes it powerful is the meaning behind it. This gift represents intention, courage, and a step towards something serious. It is a gesture that carries emotion, something that speaks when words alone are not enough. You may not yet know what it is, but you will recognize it when it arrives. It will feel personal, thoughtful, almost as if it was chosen with deep understanding of who you are, not just what you like. And when you receive it, there will be a moment, a pause, where everything becomes clear, where the name, the signs, the feelings all come together into one undeniable truth. This person has been preparing this moment longer than you realize. They have been thinking, planning, and waiting for the right time to step forward in a way that feels honest and meaningful. They do not want this to be ordinary. They want it to reflect what they truly feel, a desire not just for connection, but for commitment. And that is why the revelation is unfolding now, slowly but surely. Because once it is fully revealed, there will be no turning back to uncertainty. The clarity will replace confusion. The truth will stand where doubt once lived. So remain aware of the signs. Notice the name. Feel the shift. Because what is being revealed to you is not just a person. It is a moment of destiny taking shape right in front of you. There is something even deeper that must now be revealed to you. Something that goes beyond the name, beyond the signs, and even beyond the emotions that have been quietly building. It is the gift. Not just a simple offering, not just a physical object, but something layered with meaning, intention, and divine timing. This gift is the bridge between silence and confession, between hidden feelings and spoken truth. And what makes this gift so powerful is not its size or appearance, but the message it carries. This is not something chosen randomly or out of obligation. This is something that has been thought about carefully, even emotionally. This person has spent time considering what could truly reach your heart. Not impress you, not overwhelm you, but touch you in a way that feels genuine and unforgettable. It may come in a form you least expect. It could be something symbolic, something that represents a shared moment, a memory, or even a feeling that only the two of you can fully understand. It may seem simple on the surface, but when you look closer, you will realize that it holds a deeper meaning, one that reflects how closely this person has been paying attention to you. Because they have been observing more than you realize. They have noticed the small things, the way you react to certain situations, the things that make you smile, the moments when you fall silent. They have been quietly learning who you are, not out of curiosity alone, but out of care. And this gift is their way of showing that they see you, truly see you. There is also a strong possibility that this gift carries emotional vulnerability. It may be accompanied by words, spoken or written, that reveal what has been hidden for so long. Words that are not perfectly polished, not rehearsed but real. Words that carry hesitation, honesty, and courage all at once. Because for this person, expressing these feelings is not easy. It requires stepping out of their comfort zone, facing the fear of rejection, and trusting that what they feel is worth the risk. And that is what makes this moment sacred. Because when someone offers you something that holds their truth, their vulnerability, and their intention, it is not something to take lightly. It is a moment where two paths either come together or remain separate. And the choice in that moment becomes yours as much as theirs. Archangel Michael has been guiding this step carefully. He has been strengthening this person, helping them find the courage they once lacked. There were times when they wanted to speak but held back. Times when they felt the urge to act but were stopped by doubt. But now, that hesitation is weakening. The desire to express what they feel is becoming stronger than the fear of what could go wrong. And that is why this gift is approaching. Because it is not just about giving, it is about revealing. It is about creating a moment where everything becomes clear without needing long explanations. A moment where you feel the truth before it is even fully spoken. where your heart recognizes what your mind has been trying to understand for so long. You may notice that the energy between you and this person is already beginning to shift. There may be more eye contact, more subtle attention, more moments where it feels like something is about to be said but stops just before it happens. This is not coincidence. This is build-up. This is the quiet tension before something meaningful unfolds. And when the gift is finally presented to you, it will not feel random. It will feel like the missing piece of something you didn't even realize was incomplete. It will answer questions you never spoke out loud. It will confirm feelings you tried to dismiss. And in that moment, you will understand why everything had to happen the way it did. Because this was never meant to be rushed. This was meant to be felt. But here is something you must remember. How you receive this gift matters just as much as how it is given. This is not a moment for doubt to take control, not a moment to retreat into fear or overthink you. This is a moment to be present, to allow yourself to feel what is real without letting past experiences cloud your response. Because this gift is not coming from the past. It is coming from a place of growth, sincerity, and readiness. And as this moment draws closer, everything around you will begin to make more sense. The signs, the name, the emotions, they will all connect in a way that feels undeniable. This is where silence ends, and truth begins to speak. There is a moment approaching that will feel different from anything you have experienced before, and it will not arrive with noise or chaos. It will come quietly, almost gently, yet it will carry a weight so powerful that everything inside you will pause to recognize it. This is the moment when what has been hidden begins to reveal itself fully, when the silence finally breaks. You may expect something dramatic, something obvious, something that announces itself loudly. But this moment will not follow your expectations. Instead, it will feel natural, almost as if it was always meant to happen this way. A conversation that begins simply, a setting that feels familiar, an atmosphere that does not immediately signal anything unusual. And yet, beneath it all, something will feel different. You will sense it before it happens. There will be a shift in the energy between you and this person, a deeper focus in their presence, a slight nervousness that wasn't there before, a hesitation in their words, as if they are choosing each one carefully. These are not signs of uncertainty about you. They are signs of someone preparing to reveal something that matters deeply to them. And then it begins. Not all at once, not in a rush, but gradually. A sentence that carries more meaning than usual. A look that lingers just a little longer. A pause that feels full instead of empty. You may feel your heart respond before your mind can catch up, as if something inside you already knows what is about to be said. This is the unfolding of truth. The confession may not come in perfect words. It may not be structured or rehearsed, but it will be real. It will carry emotion, sincerity, and a vulnerability that cannot be faked. This person will step out of their silence and into a moment that requires courage, because they are no longer able to keep their feelings hidden. And when they speak, you will feel it. Not just hear it, not just understand it, but feel it in a way that reaches beyond logic. Because this is not just about what they say. It is about everything that has led to this moment. The waiting, the observing, the preparing. It will all be present in their voice, in their expression, in the way they look at you. This is where the gift may also appear, not as a distraction, but as a confirmation. Something placed into your hands that carries meaning beyond its form. And as you receive it, there will be a moment where everything connects. The signs you noticed, the name that became familiar, the feelings that grew stronger. It will all make sense. But here is where your role becomes just as important as theirs. Because this moment is not only about their courage, it is about your openness, your willingness to receive what is being offered without retreating into doubt, your ability to trust what you feel instead of questioning it away. This is a moment where your response shapes the direction of what comes next. You may feel overwhelmed, and that is natural. You may feel surprised, even if part of you already knew. But beneath all of that, there will be a quiet clarity, a sense that this is not something random, not something forced, but something that has been building toward this exact point. Archangel Michael is present in this moment, not in a way you can see with your eyes, but in the alignment of everything happening around you, in the timing, in the courage, in the clarity that begins to replace confusion. This is a guided moment, one that has been prepared with intention so that both of you can step into it without fear controlling the outcome. And as this moment unfolds, you will realize something important. You were never meant to chase this. You were meant to receive it. Because what is truly aligned with your soul does not require struggle to enter your life. It arrives when you are ready to recognize it, to accept it, to allow it to exist without resistance. So when this moment comes, do not close yourself off. Do not let past experiences speak louder than present truth. Stay with what you feel. Stay with what is real in front of you. Because this is not just a confession, it is an invitation into something deeper, an invitation into something lasting. Type "I accept divine union" in the comments if you feel this moment aligning with your spirit. Blessing code 888 is now activated. And as this sacred moment speaks to your heart, understand this: what you are witnessing is not just a story. It is a movement of divine love reaching souls who are ready to receive it. There are others still waiting for clarity, still searching for the courage to believe in a connection like this. I choose to help this light reach the one who is still waiting. When you release your seed through super thanks or a PayPal offering, you are not giving away. You are planting into fertile ground where transformation begins. The word declares, "Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy," and right now, your act becomes a channel through which joy flows into another life. Your giving becomes a signal in the spirit. Your action becomes obedience. Your seed becomes a doorway. The PayPal link rests in the description, and the QR code is present for you to respond without delay. This is not just a moment to feel. It is a moment to act. As you give, may your own path be cleared, your union be strengthened, and your blessings multiply beyond what you expect. Step forward now. Now that you have seen how this moment begins to unfold, there is something important you must prepare for, not to create fear, but to give you clarity and strength. Because whenever something meaningful and divinely aligned begins to take shape, there are always subtle forces that try to interfere, not to destroy it completely, but to test whether you are truly ready to receive what you have been given. These obstacles will not always appear as obvious problems. Sometimes they come in the form of doubt, quiet, persistent thoughts that question what you just experienced. You may find yourself wondering, was that really real? Or am I imagining something deeper than what it actually is? These thoughts may feel logical, even protective, but they can slowly pull you away from the truth if you allow them to take control. Other times, the obstacle may come through fear. Fear of getting hurt again. Fear of trusting something that feels too good. Fear of opening your heart only to face disappointment. These fears are not new. They are echoes of your past, reminders of moments when things did not go the way you hoped. But this situation is not the same as before, and allowing those fears to guide your decisions now could create distance where there should be closeness. You may also notice external influences. people around you, situations that suddenly demand your attention, or distractions that seem to pull your focus away from what truly matters. These may not seem connected at first, but their purpose is simple: to shift your awareness away from this connection at a crucial moment. Because when something is aligned with your destiny, even small distractions can have a bigger impact than you realize. This is why awareness is so important right now. Archangel Michael is not only guiding you toward this union, but also strengthening you to stand firm when these subtle challenges appear. His protection does not remove every obstacle. It empowers you to recognize them and move through them without losing sight of what is real. And here is the truth you must hold on to: what you experienced in that moment, the confession, the energy, the gift, it was real. Do not allow temporary thoughts to rewrite something that your soul clearly recognized. This connection will require you to trust yourself in a way you may not have done before, to listen to your intuition over your fears, to choose clarity over confusion, even when doubt tries to present itself as logic. Because this is where many people lose what was meant for them. Not because it disappears, but because they step away from it. They hesitate. They overthink. They create distance where there should be presence. And in doing so, they delay something that was ready to grow. You are being asked to do something different. To remain present even when your mind starts to wander. To communicate instead of withdrawing. To allow this connection to unfold naturally instead of trying to control or define it too quickly. Because what is forming here does not need to be forced. It needs to be nurtured. The other person may also face their own challenges. They may have moments where they question whether they expressed themselves correctly, whether they said too much or too little. They may worry about how you receive their words, even if they try not to show it. Their vulnerability does not end with the confession. It continues as they wait for your response, your energy, your openness. This is where balance becomes important. Both of you are stepping into something that requires mutual trust, even if it is still growing. And the way you respond now will either strengthen that trust or create hesitation. So choose carefully, not from fear, not from past patterns, but from the truth you felt in that moment. Because that truth did not come from confusion, it came from alignment. There may also be a test of patience. Things may not move instantly into a clear, defined direction. There may be a period where everything settles, where both of you adjust to what has been revealed. This is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a natural part of allowing something real to take root. Do not rush it. Do not pull away from it. Stay steady. Because what you are experiencing is not fragile. It is growing. And growth requires space, attention, and trust. And as you move through these moments, you will begin to see that the obstacles are not there to stop you. They are there to show you how ready you truly are. Ready not just to receive love, but to keep it. There is a deeper layer to all of this that you are only now beginning to understand, and it goes far beyond emotions, timing, or even the actions that are unfolding between you and this person. This connection is not just happening, it is being aligned. Carefully, intentionally, and with a purpose that reaches beyond what you can currently see. What you are stepping into is rare. Not because love itself is rare, but because this kind of alignment, where two individuals are prepared separately, guided through different paths, and then brought together at the exact moment they are ready, is something that does not happen without divine involvement. This is where Archangel Michael's presence becomes more than guidance. It becomes confirmation. He has not only protected this connection from external harm, but he has also been actively aligning your paths. Think about the moments in your life that seemed random, the decisions that felt small at the time, The paths you took, the people you met, the situations that either worked out or fell apart. On the surface they may have seemed unrelated, but when viewed from a higher perspective, they were all leading you here, to this exact point where your life intersects with someone who carries a connection meant to grow into something lasting. Nothing about this is accidental. Even the timing of your awareness is intentional. You were not meant to realize this too early, when doubt or immaturity could have distorted it. You were meant to recognize it now, when your understanding has deepened, when your emotional strength has grown, and when you are capable of receiving something meaningful without pushing it away. And the same is true for this other soul. They have walked a different path, faced different challenges, learned different lessons, but all of it has shaped them into someone who can meet you where you are now. Not where you were before, not where you might be in the future, but exactly where you are in this moment. This is alignment, and alignment creates a foundation that is stronger than attraction alone. It builds something that can withstand uncertainty, that can grow through change, that can evolve without losing its core. Because when something is aligned at the soul level, it does not rely on constant validation to survive. It carries its own stability. You may begin to notice that this connection feels different from anything you have experienced before. It does not create confusion in the same way. It does not leave you questioning your worth or wondering where you stand. Even if there are moments of uncertainty, there is still an underlying sense of clarity, a quiet knowing that this is not something you need to chase or force. That feeling is not illusion. It is recognition. Archangel Michael is reinforcing this connection by removing what does not belong within it. You may find that certain distractions begin to fade, that situations or people who once held your attention no longer feel as important. This is not loss. It is refinement. It is the clearing away of what no longer aligns so that what truly matters can take its place without interference. And as this happens, the bond between you and this person will naturally begin to strengthen. Not through pressure, not through urgency, but through presence. Through shared moments that build understanding. Through conversations that deepen trust. Through silence that feels comfortable instead of uncertain. This is how something real grows. Not in sudden intensity alone, but in steady connection that becomes stronger over time. And this is why you are being guided not to rush, not to overanalyze, but to allow. Allow the connection to unfold. Allow the feelings to develop. Allow the truth to reveal itself fully without interruption. Because what is being built here is not temporary. This is something that has the potential to become a foundation in your life, something that brings stability, companionship, and a sense of belonging that does not fade with time. But you must continue to trust the process, even when things feel unfamiliar, even when you cannot see every step ahead, because alignment does not always reveal the entire path at once. It reveals just enough for you to move forward with faith. And as you take those steps, you will begin to see how everything fits together, how every delay had a purpose, how every lesson prepared you, how every moment led you closer to this. This is not just a connection. This is a convergence of two paths that were always meant to meet. And now they finally have. Now everything begins to come together in a way that can no longer be ignored. What once felt like scattered signs, subtle emotions, and quiet realizations is now forming into a clear and undeniable picture. This is the moment where understanding deepens, where the pieces align, and where you begin to see the truth not as a possibility, but as a reality that has been unfolding right in front of you. Take a moment and reflect. Think about the signs you have noticed, the repeated presence of a certain name, the energy shifts, the unexpected thoughts, the moments of connection that felt deeper than they should have. Think about the way this person has appeared in your life, not forcefully, but consistently. Not loudly, but meaningfully. None of that was random. Every detail, every feeling, every moment was part of a larger message being revealed to you step by step. And now, you are reaching the point where that message becomes clear enough that it cannot be dismissed as coincidence. The name you have been sensing, you already know it. It may have come to you quietly, without certainty at first. You may have questioned it, pushed it aside, or told yourself that it could not be that simple. But the more you tried to ignore it, the more it returned. Not in a way that created pressure, but in a way that felt persistent, steady, almost patient. That is how truth reveals itself. It does not force you to accept it immediately. It allows you to recognize it over time, until your own awareness reaches a point where denial is no longer possible. And now, you are there. You can feel it more clearly. The connection between you and this person is no longer something distant or uncertain. It is present, is active. It is alive in a way that continues to grow, even in moments of silence. You may have also noticed how your perspective has shifted. Where there was once confusion, there is now clarity. Where there was once hesitation, there is now curiosity mixed with understanding. You are beginning to see this person not just as they appear on the surface, but as someone who carries a deeper role in your life. This is the awakening of recognition. And with this recognition comes a choice, not one that is forced upon you, but one that arises naturally from what you feel. A choice to accept what is being revealed, or to step back into doubt and uncertainty. But here is the truth. You cannot unsee what you now understand. Even if you try to distract yourself, even if you attempt to return to old ways of thinking, something within you will continue to remind you of what you have realized. Because this is not something that exists only in your thoughts. It exists within your awareness, your intuition, your emotional response. It is real. And this person, they are also reaching their own point of realization. They are beginning to understand that what they feel is not temporary, not something that can be ignored or set aside. They are seeing you in a different light now, with more clarity, more intention, more certainty than before. This is where everything begins to shift into its final stage before full expression. The hesitation that once existed is fading. The uncertainty that held things back is losing its strength. In its place, there is a growing confidence, a quiet readiness to move forward without holding back. And this is why the timing is so important. Because both of you are arriving at this point together. Not one ahead of the other, not one waiting while the other hesitates, but both moving toward the same realization at the same time. This is alignment at its most powerful, when two paths not only meet, but recognize each other fully. You may feel a sense of anticipation now, a knowing that something more is about to happen, something that will take what you already understand and bring it into full clarity. This feeling is not something to ignore. It is a signal that you are standing at the threshold of something significant. Because what comes next is not just another sign. It is the confirmation. The moment where everything that has been building finally reveals itself completely, without confusion, without doubt, without anything left hidden. And when that moment arrives, you will not need to question it. You will know. Because everything you have experienced up to now hath been preparing you to recognize it with absolute certainty. Beloved soul, now the journey comes to a place of peace, not confusion. Everything that has been building, every sign, every feeling, every moment of quiet realization, it has all been leading you here, not to overwhelm you, but to settle gently into your heart with clarity and calm. Take a deep breath and feel this truth. What is meant for you has never been in danger of being taken away. It has never been lost. It has never been out of reach. It has simply been waiting for the right moment, for you to be ready, for them to be ready, for everything to align in a way that allows this connection to enter your life without resistance. And now that moment has arrived. You are no longer standing in uncertainty. You are no longer searching for answers in the dark. What once felt hidden has now been brought into the light, and with that light comes a sense of quiet reassurance. You may not know every detail of what will happen next, but you know enough. You feel enough. And that is all you need to move forward with trust. Archangel Michael has not brought you this far to leave you in doubt. He has guided you step by step, protected you when you could not see it, and aligned this connection with precision. And now, as everything begins to settle into place, his presence remains, not as urgency anymore, but as peace. A steady reminder that you are exactly where you are meant to be. The beautiful soul who desires to walk this life with you is no longer hidden. Your presence in your life is real. Your feelings are real. And the path ahead, while still unfolding, is no longer uncertain in the way it once was. It carries a sense of direction now, a quiet knowing that something meaningful is beginning to take shape. You do not need to rush it. You do not need to force it. You simply need to receive it. Allow yourself to experience this connection without fear. Let go of the need to control every outcome or predict every step. What is unfolding is not fragile. It hath been built with care, with patience, and with divine alignment. And because of that, it does not need to be held together by worry. It needs to be trusted. There will be moments of growth ahead, moments where both of you continue to learn, to understand, to deepen what has begun. But those moments are not obstacles. They are part of the journey. They are what transform a connection into something lasting, something that does not fade when tested but becomes stronger because of it. And as you move forward, remember this above all else: you did not miss your destiny. You did not arrive too late. You are right on time. Everything that was meant to find you has found you. And everything that is meant to grow from this point forward will do so naturally, as long as you remain open, present, and willing to receive what is being given to you. So release the tension, release the doubt, and step into this new chapter with peace in your heart. Because what is ahead is not something to fear, it is something to embrace. Type "I receive my divine union" in the comments if you accept this destiny with an open heart. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. And as this message settles gently into your spirit, hear this call. It is not by accident that you were guided here. There are still countless souls searching, still waiting for a sign like the one you received today. I am ready to become a vessel for this light. When you release your seed through super thanks or a PayPal offering, you are not supporting a channel. You are helping this divine message reach the one whose destiny is waiting to be awakened. Just as the word declares, "Bring the whole tithe and see if I will not open the windows of heaven." This is your moment to act in faith, to step into obedience. Your giving becomes a river that carries truth. Your offering becomes oil that keeps this light burning. Your obedience becomes a key that unlocks blessings not only for others, but for you. The PayPal link is in the description, and the QR code is present for you to respond instantly. Do not hesitate when your spirit is being moved. As you give, may your path be filled with peace, your union be protected, and your life overflow with the very love that has found you. Step forward now,